Hey ladies, how are you? This is Carmen Chloe, creator of SingleMarriedWidow.com, a safe space for widows where I teach them how to grieve, heal, and most importantly, how to create a purposeful life after loss. I'm a widowed mother of two. I've been on this journey for a year and 3 months now, and I am super passionate about being a voice for other widows and also being an advocate, a light, and a pathway for them to heal and to, as I said, create a purposeful life after loss. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about how do you find your identity after widowhood? How do you find your identity after widowhood? When you become a widow, and I talked about this on a previous video, you are no longer the person that you were prior to becoming a widow. You're no longer a wife. You are technically, by definition, single, but you may not feel single. You may still feel married, but you're a widow. So we go through this identity transformation, this identity evolution, going from being married one day to literally being not married the next day by no choice of our own. So it does affect your identity, and it shifts and it changes your identity. So I want to give you 5 tips for how you can find your identity after widowhood. Tip number 1 is to acknowledge that you are not the same person. It may be uncomfortable for you to do that. It may hurt for you to do that. It may make you sad and cry because you have to do that, but you need to acknowledge that you are not the same person, the same woman that you were when you were married, okay? You are a different woman now. Number 2, when you're really ready to rediscover your new identity or discover your new identity after widowhood, you want to rediscover your old passions, your old gifts, your old talents, your old hobbies. I went through that period, that phase where, okay, I felt like I had grieved to the point to where I was ready to do something different than just sitting and grieving and crying and reminiscing and thinking on memories all day long. I was ready to like get back into the motions, which video marketing was a passion that I had prior to my husband passing away. On my videos, I paralleled it to me being in the classroom because I used to be an elementary school teacher. So with my videos, I felt like I was teaching. I was in the classroom teaching again, except this time it wasn't in the physical classroom teaching first graders. I was on the internet in a digital classroom teaching adults. So I picked back up on that passion of video marketing, except I was talking about something different when I first started back videos after my husband passed away. I started talking about my journey, the different things I went through. I started emoting. I started talking about a lot of things that a lot of widows go through, but they don't necessarily vocalize. So I was able to rediscover my old passion for video marketing and teaching. So once you identify and become real with yourself and say, okay, I'm not the same person that I was on December 15, 2018. On December 16, 2018, I became a different person. It wasn't by any choice of my own, but it is what it is. So then you want to rediscover, what did I like to do before then? What were my previous passions, my gifts, my talents, my skill sets? Like, what was I doing before? Tip number 3, discover some new passions, gifts, talents, and hobbies, new skill sets. You may want to launch a business that you have been thinking about doing, but you never had the courage or the time to do it, or you may not have had the finances to do it. You may have them now. So you want to discover some new passions. Like, what are you into now? Okay. Number 4, identify purpose if you can. I'm not, everybody's walk is different. Everybody's journey is different. Some people just may still be upset with God or like lost their belief in God and are kind of like, there was no purpose in it. I don't understand why it happened. But for me, I was able to identify new purpose, if you will, in widowhood. And I was able to get revelation on the calling that God has on my life through widowhood. It may sound harsh, it may sound weird, but that's my story. That's a part of my story. I was able to see new purpose and a new calling that was already there all along. It hadn't manifested yet, but I was able to identify that through going through widowhood. I know for a fact that I am called to help widows to go through the journey of grieving and healing and create a purposeful life after loss, okay? Before I became a widow, I knew that I was called to women who were broken, women who were going in transition in different relationship and different aspects, women who may have lost themselves in marriage and motherhood. So through the journey of widowhood, all of those things became clearer and they became magnified. So you may want to identify your purpose in widowhood. Is God calling you to something, to a certain group of people? Is he calling you to do something new, something fresh? Okay. Number 5, and this is the last tip, once you rediscover your old passions, discover new passions, identify purpose and calling in all of this, because I don't believe that anything just randomly happens by happenstance. Once you're able to do all of that, set some daily, weekly, and monthly goals to achieve new things. Okay, you may want to go back to school and get a degree. You may want to launch a business. This is a perfect time to launch a home-based business, because a lot of people are going to be in the house for a long time and they're going to be trying to figure it out. How am I going to get money while I'm stuck in the house with these kids? This is the perfect time to launch a home-based business. You may want to launch a business. You may want to go back to school. You may want to get certain types of certifications. Like, I am really looking at getting a specific type of certification while I am home. I already have a bachelor's degree in communications. I have a master of arts in teaching, but I am seriously looking at adding on a certification to go in the direction that I really feel like I'm supposed to go in this season of my life. So you may want to do the same thing. You may want to achieve something new, and once you have your eyes set on what it is that you want to achieve now, if you're ready, you want to set some daily, some weekly, and some monthly goals so that you can get that done and flow into the next season of your life. So those are my 5 tips for how you can find your new identity, rediscover who you are after widowhood. Again, I am Carmen Chloe, creator of SingleMarriedWidow.com. Check the link in my bio or the description section so that you can have access to my free ebook on how to start the grief process, and or to join my free 6-day healing challenge, which will be delivered directly into your email inbox. So thank you so much for watching my videos. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe wherever you're watching this video at, and I'll see you guys on the next one. I pray that you guys are staying safe, and I pray that your minds are clear and peaceful during this time. Peace, y'all.